Hey y'all, mini fish. Hope y'all being blessed real good today. I'm back at NASA again. And I gotta say, NASA's websites are slower than snot. But anyway, I got the article anyway. I saw this the other day. It was on NASA's homepage, which is here, but it's taken like 4 hours for it to load up, and there it is. There's the article right there. NASA wants to create the coolest spot in the universe. That's this article right here. Now listen to this. This summer, a nice chest-sized box will fly to the International Space Station. Okay, where it will create the coldest spot in the universe. Inside that box, lasers, a vacuum chamber, and electromagnetic knife will be used to cancel out the energy of gas particles, slowing them until they're almost motionless. This suite of instruments is called the Cold Atom Laboratory, or CAL, and was developed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. CAL is in the final stages of assembly at JPL ahead of a ride to space this August on SpaceX CRX-12. Its instruments are designed to freeze gas atoms to a mere billionth of a degree above absolute zero. Wow, that's more than 100 million times colder than the depths of space. Okay. Studying these hypercold atoms could reshape our understanding of matter and the fundamental nature of gravity. Don't forget, look it up. They still don't know what gravity is. But I digress. Said Cal project scientist Robert Thompson of JPL. The experiments we'll do with the Cold Atom Lab will give us insight into gravity and dark energy, some of the most pervasive forces in the universe. Okay, so we're grabbing atoms and we're basically stripping their energy, their essence, if you will, with an electromagnetic knife. I'll link the article, but that's essentially what it's saying. It's taking particles and stripping them of their energy, which to me equates to their essence, does it not? Okay, we can discuss that later. So, the image. I take the image like I always do, and I bring it into my thing here. And as is the case with many, many, many of these, you flip it upside down because that's what they do. Anyway, so good, clean, crisp image, obviously created in a photo program, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, whatever. And so, you know how I operate. I go in and I look and I poke at things and I just see things. That's all. And I went through this and I could, nitpick and get at some stuff that pops out a little bit to me, but these could be, 6, 6, you know how they operate. There's probably some of that, Scooby Doo snack stuff in here, but this is what I'm focused on. This piece of equipment, and I'm just saying that this must be the energy they're stripping from these particles, but it has something to do with circuitry. There's a circuit board that is running some type of mechanism or organism, right? So I take the image like I always do, and I put it through a couple of, my little layer filters. And this particular layer filter thing just makes all the lines turn to like pencil, It's called like outline or whatever, but it allows me to get in and see where they actually move their little creating tools around in their software. And I go into the very clouds here, and there's really not much that I could pick out in this cloud, although there is some little weirdness. We could look at it again later. But the very bottom cloud here, I cannot see, again, as usual, any argument as to the fact that that is, without question, a face. It just is. Once again, end of discussion. These creative tools they use to draw these things are very finely tuned. I mean, they have a very big canvas that they're drawing this one line or a certain tool. So they're very fine and sculpted and down to the detail. So that was intentionally done. There's no way around it that it was intentionally done. What does that mean? Well, this is the little smoke that sits right at the circuit board, either being grabbed from the particle, the energy, and put into the circuit board, which brings me right to these monsters that have heartbeats that are being used and implemented to capture this type of information. It's energy wave information. It's actual, I don't know if you call it like essence or what have you. And it's sort of a Christ-like figure. But let's not forget the Christ-like figure in I Pet Goat 2. We know they think very different than most of us. But that being said, I relate this again directly to, we're not fighting against men here. This is not the type of thing that the minds of men get together cooperatively at the highest echelons of power on earth for generation after generation and hundreds of years and pull this stuff off to this level that they can deceive us with all the things I show you and all their little trickery and their little dark magic that they pull. Well, I am presenting to you that they're alluding to capturing the essence or energy off of particles of DNA of something or someone, perhaps an old god slash king, like a Nimrod or something to that effect, Osiris, and this is the type of thing that they are actually able to do, where it's not science fiction anymore. So it's something to think about. But never forget that we do not fight flesh and blood. What we're dealing with are the rulers of the darkness. The darkness. What is darkness? It's shady. They're shady. They're obscure. And that is literal or figurative. You have to remember that. Darkness. And it applies just the same as flipping things upside down. It could be literal as well as figurative. You got to think about these things, because once you understand their little kingdom on earth here that the darkness really rules over, and it's like an Ouroboros, and the consumption has gone into high gear. It's devouring its tail now. Okay? You need to remember that. And the only way that you can activate your DNA with the two strands that we have, 23 and 23 chromosomes, well, they're stripping away their 23 and they're trying to charge it with something that ain't friendly to the rest of us, if you get my drift. As I've stated before, I'm no scientist. All I know is what I know, and that's been revealed to me through literally the power of Christ. And the only way that anyone really is going to find the truth is when you seek it with a humble, sincere heart. It's your choice, it's personal, and I hope you choose the way of the light. I truly do. I almost forgot to add these little tidbits in here too about CERN themselves knowing for decades, since 1999 there, that DNA acts as a semiconductor. So that fits in with exactly, what I'm saying about the stripping of the energy, from these molecules. And it could be that they're taking energy and adding them to a non-energized DNA particle. Okay, so in summary, we have NASA sending their electromagnetic knife energy stripping particle freezing cooler unit up to the ISS for tests on stripping the energy away from gas particles. And we pull their image in, and it has a absolute 100% intentional drawing of a Christ-like figure, a face. What does that mean to you? Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. That's obvious. What it means is these people have every intention of resurrecting, reanimating, whatever, between this type of equipment and what CERN can do combined with the D-Wave computers. I'm telling you folks, this little circuit board probably goes to what you might refer to as the beast brain. And if you think I'm reaching, boy, when this stuff starts to manifest in your reality, you're not going to know what to do. So I suggest you seek the truth with a humble heart. Open the Bible. It's your choice. Is all these DNA science types, this is all the rage stuff, man. What they're able to do with DNA, like I said, we're not in Kansas anymore. I mean, this is it's happening. It's not scary if you know the truth. That's all. I guess that'll wrap this up, and hope this helps somebody see something. Peace and grace, y'all. Take care. Many fish.
But have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us? And who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay,